Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an HP Gaming Laptop. This is an HP Gaming Laptop Victus model. The exact model is a 15-FB1013dx. That information can be found on the bottom side of the laptop. Right on, let me remove this one here. On the bottom side, right by the QR code, right in here, it will tell you Victus HP Gaming Laptop 15 FB, just really hard to see it, fb1013dx. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a step-by-step how you can open it up and how you can service, clean, and repaste your CPU and GPU. This applies for any fb1000 series, so it doesn't have to be 1013dx. It can be any fb1000 series. And this is just a repaste and cleaning. It's pretty much having a car or motorcycle and you just want to do a regular servicing, changing oil, stuff like that to keep the temperatures low and the performance high. That's what you want to do. This is not a benchmark test between the thermal paste, stuff like that. All depends on your thermal paste that you use. I'll recommend the one that I use in the video description, and the tools and everything that I'll be using is in the video description in case you want to purchase. You can go with a Thermal Grizzly, which is really good, Arctic MX6, which is really good, or if you want to go overkill, you can go with a PTM Honeywell paste change thermal pads. Those are good too, but they're expensive and there's a really knockoffs out there. They're really fake ones. And I found out that the MX4, MX6, they do a perfect job with this one. But if you want to go ahead with a different one, you can go with the Thermal Right. Again, they're all good. They will keep your temperatures low. But again, the thermal paste is up to you, but I will recommend the Arctic MX4 or MX6. Those are the ones that we recommend. All right. Just remember, by doing your service and cleaning, you're not going to change anything in the Windows. Everything is going to be left the way that you had it before. Just remember, just heads up before you panic. Once you do your service, you plug the charger in, you power on. It will take up to 2 minutes before it starts booting up the Windows. First minute, it will tell you something about the BIOS firmware. Do not power it off. Let the firmware do its job. After that, it will go black screen for at least 1 minute. After that, it will give you a message saying that CMOS was reset to default. Press enter to restart. You press enter, it will restart, and it will go to the Windows. You don't have to do anything about that, so don't panic about it. All right. And that happens because we're going to be disconnecting the battery. So from here, we're going to grab ourselves a screwdriver set. I'll be using a Phillips number 0 from iFixit screwdriver set kit. I purchased it for myself. And for the opening tools, I'll be using a metallic guitar pick. These are really good to opening cases and covers. And a very important one is a one sheet of the workshop towel. And I'll explain why I recommend the workshop towel and not any other towel. And a very important one is a 98% plus isopropylic or isopropylic alcohol. And the reason for this towel is because as soon as you put alcohol on this one, you want to clean the motherboard, the components, this will rip apart very softly, very gently, and will prevent damaging on the components on the laptop. But if you use a microfiber, stuff like that, they can get tangled on the components and you can damage them. So use a workshop towels. And a good thing is to have a used or new soft toothbrush or medium toothbrush. Thermal paste this one, and pretty much I think we are good. You can have a little plastic spatula, curved or straight tweezers, and let's get it started. So down here we have a Phillips number 0. We're going to remove all the screws on the bottom cover. There are 3 of them on the back and 4 on the front. Go ahead and remove all of them. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking that like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. Appreciate it. But once we remove all the screws, we're going to keep them in one pile. You're going to bring the laptop the front side up. And we're going to stick the opening tool between the bottom cover and the palm rest, just like that. And we're going to twist it. You're going to hear a big click sound. That's what you want to hear. Don't stick the whole guitar pick in. I'm sticking about 1 or 2 millimeters. You want to do that all the way in the front. And you want to do the side. Again, remember 1 or 2 millimeters. Don't stick the whole thing. Go to the back corner. Do the left and right side. And then you want to do the back side. The back side is pretty easy. And then you want to lift up the bottom cover. There's a two mesh right in here, and these are the dust mesh. You want to take it outside and just brush it off and clean it off. So you want to clean nicely this mesh dust. I mean dust mesh, whatever you mesh dust. And once you clean it out, put it to one side. It's pretty clean. All right, and down here we can see two fans and two heatsink that goes over the CPU and over the GPU, and the air goes from here and intakes from here and exhales from the other side. I mean exhausts from the other side. And there's a battery right over here. First thing first, we want to disconnect the battery. To disconnect the battery, you want to put your two fingers on the side of this white connector right in here. And then you want to pull it towards yourself really hard, and the connector will come out. Just slide it out. Next, we're going to disconnect the fan, each fan. Now I can't fit my finger in there, so I'm going to use the tweezers on the white jack and slide it backward. Don't yank on the cable. There's a really fragile cable, so you have to push them on the earlobes, I call it. So wiggle around, it will come out. Now, if you do not want to remove the heatsink, the heatsink detacher, you can just remove the fans by putting a Phillips #1 and remove the screws on the fan, on both of the fan. There should be 2 in here and 3 screws on the other one. So first we have to disconnect this power jack connector. Just slide it out, untangle it in here. There's a 3 screws on each fan. So remove 3 screws on each fan. I thought that was beautiful. And 3 on that one. The screws are the same, so don't worry about it. Once we disconnect them, now we can lift up the fan, bring it out. And we're going to take it outside. You can just brush it off and blow some compressed air. Lift this one up. Again, take it outside and clean it up. This one is pretty dirty too. And you can blow some air from the other side inward, so you clean up this air ventilation down in there. All right. But now if you want to repaste, then you have to disconnect 4 screws on the heatsink. They have a little C-lock, I believe. Oh no, they don't have a C-lock. So pretty much remove 4 screws on the GPU and 4 screws on the CPU. So 4 screws right there, and actually there's 3 screws on the CPU anyway, so the triangle. So remove the screws right there. Don't yank it, don't grab it from there, grab it really near to the CPU and GPU from both sides, and you want to bring it upward. This side, and then it's screw in here. This bracket is not letting it come out, so I have to lift it up, and I can't slide it out, so I have to remove this bracket. So remove 1 screw that holds that bracket in place. Move this bracket to one side. I can bring this heatsink upward. I should be able to bring it up. I don't know why it's not coming. Okay, this one is holding it down, so let's remove this screw. This kind of filler for the case. It's kind of idiotic. So bring it up and remove it. This white goop right in here, this white goop is a thermal putty. It's not a thermal paste. So people get confused. Oh, can I replace this with a thermal paste? No, you don't. There's nothing in here. There's no RAM module, so that means it doesn't reach. You do not need to clean this thermal putty. The thermal putty, they do live very long time, so I'll leave them the way it is. I can see there's a little blackout on this ones right in here. That's no good, so I don't know what's going on in there. So we're gonna replace the thermal paste in the thermal putty. I'm gonna grab the thermal putty from this section. I'm gonna put it right in here. So first, I see it's pretty clean. You can take it outside, brush it off. I'm going to take it outside, brush this heatsink, and clean up the fan, and I'll be back in a second. All right, I took the fans outside and I cleaned them up. Look, I'm nice and clean. With a toothbrush and blow some air through it. Beautiful. All right. And I clean up the air duct system in here. It's nice, and with a toothbrush, it's black, it doesn't show, but it's nice and open up. So put it against the light, and you can see the other side. All right, now we're gonna repaste. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna grab a little bit of workshop towel, we're gonna soak it in an alcohol, and we are gonna swipe over the CPU, just a CPU crystal die. That's what you wanna do. You see how this one rips apart? It prevents damage. And same thing on the CPU. Do a pass with a dry part. In here, we're gonna do. They do have a thermal putty on these components on the side, but on the VRAMs on here on the MOSFETs, they use a 0.5 millimeter thermal pads. So there's a thermal pad in here, and the rest is a thermal putty. But we care only about the thermal paste. I'll leave the link for thermal putty. If you want to replace it, you can just swipe. You don't have to go crazy about it. Just grab a spatula, just clean it up, and put a new thermal putty. Just is like a kind of goop. Put a goop on top, and that's it. So pretty much clean up that old thermal paste. Now regarding this component right in here, power regulator, I see it's kind of blacked out. And I don't like it, so I'm gonna clean it out. I'm gonna clean up this part. All right, now that we don't have any VRAMs in here, and so that means this thermal putty in here is unnecessary. So I can just take it from here and put it right on here, just tiny goop. Put it on top, it will spread itself. And grab it from here and place it right on top. All right, I'm gonna clean up my spatula. Now what you wanna do, you wanna grab the new thermal paste. I'm gonna be using thermal rye, but if you, I would recommend you at Arctic MX6 or MX4. My client want this one. I'm gonna put one drop on the CPU, on the GPU, and one line on the CPU. Just make a nice big blob in there, and that's it. So I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like that. Next, what you want to do, you just want to bring it over. First, bring it right in here. Put the heatsink side down, and then you want to set it down. And you see how the group just goes around, it gets pushed out. And then you just want to put the uh, screws right over. There's a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can follow the numbers or just do an X pattern shape. So once I do this triangle right in here, I'll go right away from the 4 in the corner in here, and then 7. I do not go to 5. I go to 7. So there's a pressure from here, and then I'll go to 5 and 6. And there we have it. Next, you want to put the fans back in, slide them right in there. And put the screws for the fan. Oh, before you put the screws, put this bracket in there to hold it in place. Put this bracket in here. Has one screw only. Now put all 6 screws on the fan, 3 on each. Now that we have that one in there, we're going to plug in the fan connectors, slightly, gently align them and just slide them inside the jack. They just make a tiny click. Big fingers I cannot find. Push them in, run the cable for the power connector, and slide it right into the connector and all the way in. All right, pretty much we are done. What you want to do here is to grab the battery connector. Make sure you put it in straight inside the connector. Don't put sideways. Always straight in. Always straight in. If you put a sideways in, you will damage the pins. And one last thing is to grab the bottom cover, put it over, and then push down the back, the sides in. Make sure you hear those big click sounds on the sides, on the back. If you see any gaps opening, just pinch them together. And then you want to switch to a Phillips number 0 and put the screws on the bottom. I will power it on, and I don't want to fast forward that part so you guys can see how it's going to react, all the messages that you will get when you power it on for the after disconnecting the battery, so you guys don't panic. Make sure you plug in the charger when you want to power it on, because when it's doing, if the charge is really low and it's doing a firmware update on the BIOS, you don't want to lose power during that. So always plug in the charger and let's go ahead and power it on. Power on, and within 30-40 seconds I should see it saying firmware update. Don't power it off. It's not a firmware update, it's just pretty much rewriting the BIOS, just kind of backup. So let's just wait here. I'm gonna put as a reflection on the thing. So there we go. Firmware update, do not power off. So let it finish. It should take 5-6 seconds. It shouldn't take more than 10 seconds, I guess. It is taking, oh yeah, there you go, 10 seconds. And it turns off, and now it's gonna stay in the black screen with the fans turning on. So just let it sit there for at least 1 or 2 minutes, and it's gonna give you a blue screen saying that the CMOS was reset to default. Press enter to continue. So let's just wait for that. It can take up to 4 minutes sometimes, or 5, so don't panic. There you go. CMOS checksum invalid. CMOS will reset to default. Press enter to continue restart. So you press enter, and it will just do this once, and that's it. Every time you disconnect the battery, it's going to give you Victus, and it's going to load the Windows with no problem. And again, I hope you guys like this video and helped you guys out. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in a video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And this is how you repaste and clean your Asus Gaming Victus laptop.